Our travel expert, Claire Newell, is here now with another one of our travel-focused segments. And Claire, we're looking at a place that maybe a lot of people haven't been to or haven't even thought of going there, but I would love to go through the Panama Canal.
I've got to tell you, it is a place, you're right, it's not on many people's radar, but it is fantastic. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. Really, if you want a great holiday, this should be on your radar. This is a vibrant country. It's technically located in both Central and South America because it's divided by that world-famous Panama Canal. And I was lucky enough to visit Panama in January with my own family, and let me tell you, we absolutely loved it. While Panama is known mostly for that famous canal, the country's natural attractions offer an irresistible lure. Beautiful landscapes, gorgeous beaches, all this exotic flora and fauna, and a very cosmopolitan city, making it all a really wonderful, well-rounded vacation destination. And because the coasts are under 2 hours drive apart, you could easily spend the morning snorkeling in the Caribbean Sea and in the afternoon swimming in the Pacific Ocean. Wow. So let's take a closer look. Just when should you go? Well, Panama's high tourist season is from December to April, which is their summer, and you'll enjoy really long sunny days since you're only 9 degrees away from the equator. The sun rises around 6 a.m. and then sets around 6 p.m. It's amazing, and the average temperature about 32 to 34 degrees. Now, how long should you stay? Well, getting to Panama is now a lot easier. There is a non-stop flight, and it takes about 7 hours going with the tailwinds and about 9 hours on the return flight. Now, my family and I stayed for about a week, and we were able to see and do pretty much everything we wanted to. So I would recommend at least 7 days. But just where should you go? Well, there is so much to see and do in Panama, but here are some places that I would definitely recommend visiting. First, Panama City. It's a city similar to Miami. There's great duty-free shopping, nightlife, restaurants, casinos. Of course, the Panama Canal, one of the greatest achievements in engineering history. It's an absolute must-see. It's a destination really on its own. Now, Gatun Lake, it makes up a major part of the canal, and there's lots of wildlife in this area. Literally monkeys, crocodiles, toucans, and sloths. You'll just see cool. Everywhere. Okay, all the important vaccinations and visas. Well, there are no actual vaccinations required to enter Panama, but regardless, I always recommend visiting a clinic just to a doctor, just for illness precautions based on your current state of health. Now, as for documents, you need a valid passport, but this is the important part. It needs to be valid for 3 months past your return date, or they won't let you on the plane here in Vancouver. Now, let's talk about how much it's going to cost. And this is the exciting part. I found a great deal. It's on that non-stop charter flight with Transat to Panama. It's the first year they've ever done it, and it's making it easier to get to, but also cheaper than it's been in the past. For air and 7 nights in a 4-star beachfront, all-inclusive, March the 27th is the cheapest right now for $8.89. It's half the price that it was last year.
That is amazing,
Just
Claire.
for the flight alone, it's half the price.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to some of the questions sent in by our viewers. David says, I would like to arrange a fishing trip for my son and I for our upcoming trip to Panama. Is there anything you would recommend? We are open to ocean, lake, or even river fishing.
Well, Panama is great for all sorts of fishing, all 3 of those types. But my husband and son actually did the trip to Gatun Lake, and it's famous for bass fishing, and they just loved it, and it's not really that expensive. But there are also other charter companies that offer snook river fishing and sea sport fishing for those bigger fish like wahoo tuna.
Wahoo tuna, love wahoo tuna.
No kidding.
Okay, next question from Jen. My boyfriend and I are taking our first trip to Panama, and we're wondering if there is anything you would consider a must-do for our vacation.
Well, I think if I had to do one thing, I would 100% recommend taking the city tour. You'll see Panama Canal in operation, those Millefleur locks. You'll get to visit the Colonial City, that UNESCO World Heritage Site, and then you'll get to just see the modern Panama City. My family and I loved it, and it was just a great way to see Panama.
Oh, well, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah.